Some of us are starving for attention from that one person who just doesn't give us the light of day. Maybe it's an ex. Maybe it's somebody who you asked out, but they just friend zoned you. Or maybe it's someone who you have yet to introduce yourself to. But whatever the case may be, I noticed that it's usually the people that reject us in some way that we put on a pedestal. Whether it's that we ask for their number, they don't give it to us, we get broken up with, or whatever. And why is that? Because we always want what we can't have. But you see, when you live in the reality where we want what we can't have, you are admitting that it's possible to be in a reality where there's things that are not able to be obtained. If you say you want what you can't have, how can you have that thing if the only way to obtain it is to have it already? I'll say that again. In order for you to have that specific person's attention, you need to have it before you get it. Now, what does that mean? That means that instead of looking at the situation and saying, they don't pay attention to me, they rejected me, therefore I don't have their attention, I don't have their relationship, I don't have their intimacy. No, you look at what happened and realize that that is the 3D, that is separate from you. But you are not only just what you see out here in the physical world, but you are everything. You are all possibilities. Remember, I've said this many times before, you're not the mind, you're not the body, you are the observer of the mind and the body. The same way that on a fucking tax test there is multiple choice, there is multiple realities, multiple options. But you see, the difference between you and a tax test is that you are everything at once. You are the guy getting rejected, but you're also the version that isn't getting rejected, where she is chasing you, right? You are the guy who she broke up with, and you are also the guy who has been married to her for years and you kind of want a little break. You are the woman who always gets cheated on, and you're also the woman who, the moment you walk out the door, you always get proposed to. Every man, I mean, you have so much engagement rings you can make a jewelry store, right? You are all possibilities, okay? But you can't have something until you give it to yourself, until you decide that it's yours already. Now, when people hear that, they go, oh, okay, so all I got to do is, okay, whenever I notice that hot girl at the gym is ignoring me, all I got to do is say I have her. And then the next day that I see her, she's going to be all over me. Well, first of all, listen to that sentence. You said, I'm going to do something and then I'm going to look for it the next day, go to the gym. No, you decide that you have her already and you don't look. Guys, before you got into this channel, you knew that it's not the one who chases, it's the one who gets chased that wins. So you don't do a technique and then look to see if it works. You do the technique and you have it look for you. You expect that once you decide that hot girl at the gym is mine, it doesn't fucking matter what happens on Tuesday, on Wednesday, on Thursday, on fucking Christmas, because she's yours. Because you want to know something? Just the same way as a surgeon dissects the dead body to figure out the time of death and the cause of death, and if it was an overdose or it was they took their own life. You can dissect this because at the core, What you really want is whatever state being with that person gives you. And I guarantee you that being with that person gives you a state that you've already experienced. It's the same way that I say that the same state of you being a millionaire and financially free is the same state that you were in after you graduated from school, or even if you didn't graduate, after you no longer had to go to school and worry about homework and go into bed early. Because, guys, I mean, unless we are fucking cavemen, okay, 99% of us went to school, and it was definitely more than fucking 15 years. Hopefully. Gosh darn it. And whether we accomplished things in school or not, we had good grades or not, we always had somebody pestering us about our grades, whether it was our parents, whether it was our teachers, or both. And once we left that fucker, it was like, whew, thank the Lord. And the same exact fucking thing happens when you become financially free. It's not the fucking numbers in your bank account. It's not the fucking Benjamins in your wallet. It's the fucking idea of no more. I no longer have to go to work. I no longer have to worry about debt. I no longer have to check my bank account. Here, okay, don't even tell me the total. Just take my fucking shit. Cha-ching. It's stress-free. And honest to God, one could argue that that's the same fucking state of you being with your SP, because your ego is always saying, well, you don't even have her. You're so ugly. When are you going to get married? All your friends are married. Even though fucking Billy's getting cheated on. And you're worrying about, oh, he's so happy just because he saw 3 fucking photos on their Instagram. Guys, if you want to have them, you tell yourself that you have them and go to the state where you've had something already and you felt the accomplishment of that state. Copy and paste that state, and then boom, there you go. You don't do a technique. You don't decide that you have that person. You don't decide that you have that money and then wait. Okay, any moment now. Fuck that shit. Bury that in the desert. That, if you do that, I mean, look, you got to ask yourself something. Is that acting like the 1% or the 99%? It's acting like the 99%, right? Well, how many people do you hear manifest millions? Not very many. And I mean manifest, not work their ass off and then they finally got it out of their pension. No, I mean where they say they just did a technique and then boom, they got millions. Not very many. You probably don't know. If you do know somebody, it's probably 1 out of 30 people that you know. Why? Because most people only do with what's comfortable. And what is comfortable? Like the scriptures say, few there be that find it. The way to the kingdom is hard and it's narrow. The gates to the kingdom is narrow, whatever the fuck, right? It's trying to paint the picture that not everybody's going to want to do it because there's a part of it that seems hard. When in reality, it's not hard. It's a little uncomfortable. It's not natural. I wouldn't even say that it's difficult. It's just not natural. So therefore, we're like, oh, that's so weird. I don't want to just say that the hot girl likes me, even though I have to spend the next 2 to 3 months seeing her talk to the guy 6 inches taller than me. And then all these guys cheat on me. Whatever you put your focus on, you will continue to get it. And if you were putting your focus on the fact that you were getting rejected for the past 6 years, yeah, it's going to have to be reflected back to you. I'm sorry. Okay? I hate to make it sound like I'm blaming you, but think of it this way. If you were able to manifest all those negative things, then you can manifest in your favor. Use all the negative shit that you're seeing right now in the 3D that you manifested because you kept focusing on all that negativity, on all that rejection, on all of that self-concept of you being not up to par. And rejoice, because this means that you've discovered that you have a superpower and now you know how to use it. You were using it accidentally the wrong way, but it's okay. There's still time. And when I say there's still time, All you got to do is decide now that it's yours. And let's say you notice in the 3D for a second that nothing has changed. You have to understand that that is a reality that's fading. But a reality that has to morph into another reality that already exists where you are with that specific person, it won't happen overnight. And the people who say that it happens overnight, it's because maybe there was just that one little piece that they were missing, right? But if there's a lot of just internal dialogue that you were giving to yourself of nothing but bullshit, then yeah, there's a possibility that it could take a little longer. But the moment that it becomes natural to you and you stop giving a fuck, that's usually when things start to speed up. Because when you stop giving a fuck, that is like when you get knocked out in the UFC and, you know, you not only, you don't have to get punched in your legs for your legs to give out and you fall down and go to sleep. All it takes is one little knock in the head and the equilibrium, and then boom, your legs give out. Well, the same way that your legs are connected to the equilibrium is the same way that when you stop giving a fuck and you detach from giving a fuck, you detach from focusing and putting all your energy on the things that you lack. And therefore, when reality sees that you are no longer putting your focus on that, it puts your focus on the only other option, which is having. You either have or you don't have. You cannot choose two masters. And when you don't give a fuck, and how do you not give a fuck? By detaching from the mind and the body and just being. Remember, when you go to the gym and you notice that that girl is not choosing you, that is something happening in the body. When you notice that you're still blocked on Instagram and that guy is still talking to that girl, that is something that you're witnessing with your eyes. Your eyes are connected to the body. You stop giving a fuck by detaching and looking within. That's the way to do it. And it's going to get to the point where you do it so much that you enjoy your internal. And then naturally, just like the same way that you were healthy for 6 months and then out of nowhere you start getting a cold. Sometimes when you notice that the cold and the sinuses and the congestion are coming, it just happens out of nowhere. Even like when I used to get high on fucking weed, you know, you can't even necessarily really tell when it hits, but it hits. And once it hits, it happens. So you don't have to look for your manifestation. It will be there. And once you get into the habit of looking into your internal and living there and realizing that that's how you're going to see it out here in the external, you will stop giving a fuck because you know that that's the way reality works. Okay? If you guys want help, what the hell are you waiting for? The links are in the description. Join the membership channel. All the perks are in the posts on the channel page. I love you guys. Take care.